Hey there, how the hell are you? You take the headphones off. All right, I was at farmer's auction. I bought something from Spokane, but that's it. All right, thumbnail for today. You're looking at my table from 2 years ago at the Mitchell County Conservation Commission's Environmental Education Committee. We had what do they call it? A rendezvous day weekend where Friday the kids come, and Indians and rendezvous, 1600, 1700 trapper, all that stuff, flea market, British troops, American troops, blah, blah, blah. All that shit reenacting. Bow shooting for kids, 22 long rifle shooting, black powder shooting contest. Um, there's metallurgy, blacksmithing, me with my either bees or maple syrup making. Indians are there for my tribe from Iowa. So yeah, it's old timey music. It's a good time. And then Saturday and Sunday are the days for the public. Friday's the day for the kids. So all the buses come from around the area and they get to go in for free and do whatever. It doesn't cost anything. We just ask for a goodwill offering if adults come in, but for school kids, everything is open to them. And that was my table inside where I sold honey and syrup. Also, if you look close, I have homemade knives in the middle. So I did that 1 year. Most of the time, I'm outside, set up under an awning, and I do a maple syrup demonstration or honeybee demonstration, one or the other, depending on who they can get to do the honeybees, because it seems to me there's more beekeepers than there are people who know how to make maple syrup, which is stupid. But all right. Anyway, that's the thumbnail. Now, here's a little story about last night. I was in my pajamas already, sitting here on the computer. My wife took my daughter's dog, the pit bull, outside for a walk. She comes back in and says, "Let's take a look out the window and see what's going on out there." So up the neighbor's place, and she's a quarter mile away, there was a big ring of fire extending out into the corn stalks. I thought maybe somebody's burned the corn stalks off, but no, they wouldn't do that. It was a non-windy night, but they wouldn't do that during the nighttime. They do that during the day. So I said, well, it looks a little close to the house and shed there. I'll put my shoes on and run over there. So I took my phone. I had to come back in for my phone because I forgot. I said, I better take that just in case. I got over there. I pulled into the yard. I ran up to the door, knocked on the door, pounded on the door. Nobody answered. And I saw that the fire was starting to get about 4 feet from the LP tank, a 500 gallon LP tank. So I called 911, told them where I was at, what was happening. And all right, they got out there. They were coming. So I got out there and I started stomping out fires. They didn't have anything in the back of my truck. Usually you just take a rake or a flat shovel, snow shovel, and drag it along where the fire is in the grass, and you can put it out. It may recatch from embers, but you always put out the flame. All right. So I started at the LP tank, and it's 4 feet away from the LP tank, 3 feet away from the LP tank. There's not enough flame there to probably set the LP tank off, but the shop, garage and shop are right there. And if it catches either one of those on fire, there's LP that goes into those, which will then be jetting LP out, and that'll be on fire. So, and that could, if you don't have a back um, pressure valve on that line, that could go right back into the tank and then blow it up. So there's always that possibility. So started at the tank, worked my way around the shed. It was far enough away from the house yet, like maybe 5 yards, 6 yards away from the house. So 15, 20 feet away from the house. But it was right up against the shed. So I got it out by the LP tank. And about that time, the oldest boy came out of the house. And he's 19, 18, 19, 18, 19. I think he's 1 year out of high school. The daughter is gone. She's married, gone. And the husband died a few years ago from cancer. So basically she's there by herself. Dina's there by herself with the son. And then he come running out, and I told him, grab shovels, flat shovels to come over. And so he went and grabbed to the other shed, grabbed flat shovels, came over, and um, Dina was trying to actually rake with a regular rake um, around the edge of the fire and rake it into the fire so it would burn in the fire ring, but that wasn't working. So she laid that down. So all you have to do is just flip it over and drag that thing and put out flame that way. So I took that and I started doing that. I got it all out along the shed, and then it started going up where they were burning trash is what started it. They were burning trash out by their dirt pile, and just it wasn't windy, so they didn't think about it. Just went in the house, and she was either watching TV, he was taking a shower or something, but they didn't hear me knocking or nothing. And so around the pile of dirt, there's tall weeds that are growing up around there. And that was starting to get into there. So I got that knocked down quick before all those weeds went up because that was too close to shed too. And then it's starting to go out in the cornfield. I mean, it's been going out in the cornfield ways. So you don't want to see a cornfield set on fire, because if you've ever seen one of those fires where the entire cornfields of stalks is set on fire, you probably don't want to see another one. And the only way I saw it stop one was the wind was blowing, and the road stopped the flame in the direction the wind was coming from. And the other direction is where they had to dig the fire line and set the trucks up, but because that would have jumped the road ditch, or would have jumped the road into the other road ditch. And so I didn't want it into the field, because only the gravel road separates their field from our field right south of our place. So it'd been north of their place, but south of our place. And then that leads into the trees. And so there's a cornfield on our side all the way around by the edge of the trees. And then that up into our yard and house and grove and stuff. So I didn't want it to get in there. But it probably wasn't never going to jump the road because of no wind. But you never know. If fire gets big enough, it'll create its own wind. So we got it knocked down pretty well. And I called 911 back and said, we got the fire knocked down. And she said, well, the trucks are out there and they're real close. And as soon as I hung up with her, yeah, here they were coming down the road from the north. And so we got the first fire, and then water truck and blah, blah, blah. And I left at about that time and went back to my place over here. And so they sprayed down the entire area with water, knocked it down. And then later on in the evening, what happened? It snowed. We got about 6 inches of snow. So it would have knocked it down anyway, but you never know if another ember is going to start something again or not. So it's better off they just spray the area down, knock it down, make sure nothing else is going to come back up. But yeah, that was a fun evening. I got to call 911. I got to fight a fire. I coughed hacked up shit in my lungs for about an hour afterwards. But yeah, that was fun. All right, we got one package. We got open right here. TuliTuli. I got one coin in there. I forget what the heck it was I bought, but we're gonna just maybe I can tear this label off and reuse this package. Reuse the packaging. I think maybe just a little too much. Come on. I got most of it. Look at that. I got most of it. So goes in the trash. Oh shit! Knocked that one down. Whatever. Goddamn thing. All right. Where's my knife? Well, I'll use this knife. We will use this one. Razor blade. I got to go out to the shed, leave my cat in the shed because she stayed out. She stayed out last night, every once in a while she likes to be out and running around. So she stayed out last night. Oh, I even with the snowstorm, because she couldn't crawl in the shed, and she's got a bed up there and everything, so she's not. She just doesn't have her food bowl outside, so she would have to go and find something else to eat. That's all right. As soon as I go out, let her back in and everything, and then I have go out, put wood in the fire, so that'll be fun through the snow. Through the snow, I got a wheelbarrow. I have to go back and forth from the wood pile to the stove. It's always good. You have to dig trails. All right, what do we got here? Oh, Gary, I added a gift to say thank you and to make the $6 shipping worth it. I appreciate your support. That shithead. Look what she did. Put a silver rosy on there. See what it says. 2001 S proof 90%. It says, Gary, a gift to say thank you. You didn't have to do that. And then she put a sticker on here too. She taped one of her stickers on the front. That looks good. I mean, didn't have, oh shit, upside down. Didn't have to do that either, but and then out on back. That's what I like about this community. I love that it's just everybody is just so personable and helps each other out. I just love when people do that, man. Or little handwritten notes are always appreciated. You don't know how much most people appreciate that. I try to do that in every package I send out. I got a little handwritten note in each one. Oh, what do we got here? Yep, there we go. Ooh, what do we got in here? I forgot what I even got. It's an auction item. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, I got a Canada Wolf. I just got one from, who was it? Somebody else. Was a howling wolf. Where it's got two wolves on and one standing there and then one howling at the moon. See, I have this coin, but I want more than one. So that's what I got. I got more than one. Very nice. And just, Canada on the back. Not a big deal. Here, let's take that off. It's just a queenie on the back, so it's not a big deal. You see how it's nicely toning up around the edges? A lot of Canadian coins do that. I don't know. Tone up around the edges like that. But yeah, that's what that is, man. I'm not even going to take it out. I'm just going to leave it in. But yeah, Canadian Wolf. I believe it's 2015, if I'm not mistaken. Nope. This wolf was a 2011. Very nice. Well, I would like to hear you guys' stories sometimes about your little close calls. I did that as a child. I was, I don't know, 6, 7 years old, 7 years old, maybe 8. As a child, without a male adult supervisor, because my dad was in the hospital dying of cancer. We had a babysitter at our house. I started the fire. I was experimenting with gasoline and matches, and I started a fire out by our garage. And it was a detached garage, wooden structure. Our neighbor lived right next door with her old garage right there, her old shed. So it used to be a farm. Used to be farms right there, and right on the edge of town. And she had a lot between her house and next house to the north. That was a grass field. And then if you went right if you were looking north, there was an alley between our garage and her shed. That was grass. If you look that way, just up to your left would have been her grass field, and up to our right, or up to your right, would have been um, our garden. Uh, my mom and dad had a big garden, and so that was our garden. And I started that grass on fire with that gas. Well, no, I started the grass on fire, and then uh, I told the babysitter. The babysitter came out there, and I said, "I'll put it out." And I ran and got that gas. I had it in a tin. Um, I don't know. It's a quart. It's for pouring oil. You got a handle and spout on it. You had gas in there about half full, and I went to throw it on the fire, and the fire came up the can, burnt my hand badly, and I had to have butter on it and burn cream and that shit. But I did that as a kid, so I understand the implications of fire. I get my ass beat for that. I don't know if I got my ass beat for that or not. I don't think my dad was too sick to beat my ass at that point. And I don't think my mom ever did. So I don't think I got my ass beat. But the volunteer fire department was there and put the fire out. That's how it got into that grass field. So yeah. Anyway, that was my little adventure for the evening. I hate to tell you, you're in your pajama bottoms. I had regular shirts on yet. I just threw on this shirt. I had my t-shirt on, but I had pajama bottoms on and socks. So I just slipped my feet in the shoes. I picked up my coat and I just threw it in the truck. It's still out in the truck. I didn't even bring it in. And when I got over there and I saw what was going on, and nobody answered the door, then I started tying my shoes. Got my shoes tied at least, and it wasn't cold because the adrenaline was flowing and I was beating out flames. So that was quite the evening. But anyway, I was sitting here on the computer listening to Farmer, TuliTuli, and and I got the headphones on so I can listen to them. So I don't hear nothing else. And so the pit bull started barking a lot. So I knew somebody's here. So I look out. Yeah, her car was here. The neighbor's car was here. So I go out to the mud room, let her in. They can't let the pit bull out with strange people because the pit bull doesn't like strange people. Anyway, uh, she brought over a great big plate of brown chocolate chip brownies. She said thank you and all this other, and not a big deal, you know. Anyway, so she brought over some brownies. I ate some already. They're pretty good. And actually, her son made them. She said he's the cook, not her. Well, it's all right until he moves out, and then you're on your own. Then what, dear? She'll probably move to town then. I don't know. Probably sell the place. It's a nice house, nice shop and shed. Plus, I got a nice, another nice tin shed there for storage. So, and then he's got a chicken coop out there too. Yet, so there's it's not a tree house, but it's a stand. It's a house up on a stand for kids to play. So they have to go up with a ladder. Kids playhouse basically. And then there's one on the ground also like that for when she was a young girl. That was her dollhouse. So yeah, I don't know, fun stuff. But that's what I got. I wanted to do that today, and now I think I'm going to go outside and put wood in the furnace and forge a path through the snowbank uh, to run my wheelbarrow up. And then I'm going to go let the cat in and have a cigar. How about I see you guys later? Peace out, man.